Hello students, now today we are going to discuss the part 2 of your chapter 3 which we started 2 days before. Now we have discussed about the spermatogenesis, oogenesis and menstruation cycle. Now in this part we are going to start with fertilization and implantation. So these are the two important topics. Fertilization occurs at the ampullary isthmic junction of the fallopian tube. You can see from here, this is actually the part where the fertilization is occurring, and this is known as the ampullary isthmic junction. The process of fusion of sperm and the ovum is known as fertilization. So this is the general definition which you are studying from your junior classes. During fertilization, the sperm induces change in the zona pellucida and blocks the entry of other sperm. This ensures that only one sperm fertilizes an ovum. So outside the ovum there is a layer which is known as zona pellucida. When the sperm enters into it, there is a changes in this and which doesn't allow the entry of other sperms. Acrosome is the head region of the sperm entry into the cytoplasm of the ovum. So this figure will help you to understand how the different things are occurring after the fertilization. That means day 1, first cleavage day, then day 2 is the second cell stage, 3 to 4 days the fourth cell stage, then 8 complicated stage which is known by the morula, day 4 then the blastocyst will occur, day 6 blastocyst, and the implantation will take place on the day 8 to 9. So these things you have to remember, and it will help you to do so many questions. Now these are the general diagrams. So the most important diagram is the diagram of the sperm. It is having the acrosome which is having many digestive enzymes, nucleus which is containing 23 chromosomes, haploid in number, collar containing many mitochondria for energy, and this tail flagellum causes sperm to swim. So along with the name you can see the functions are also there which will help you. This is the general diagram which is showing how the sperms are trying to enter inside the ovum. Now the completion of second meiotic division of the secondary oocyte stage. You can see as the sperm is trying to enter, at that time the second meiotic spindle division is completing and the formation of haploid ovum and a secondary polar body will be there. So you can see this division will going to complete, and the haploid sperm nucleus fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. So this is how, as we have studied earlier in the oogenesis, the stage is stopped at this second meiotic spindle stage, and it completes when the sperm entry is taking place. The zygote undergoes a series of meiotic division called cleavages, and the stages of development are 2 cell stage, 4 cell stage, 8 cell stage, morula, blastula and gastrula. So you can see the different stages from the lower diagram, and this one is the last stage which is known as gastrula. You can see from this figure also. So day 1 when the zygote is formed, then the mitosis will occur second day, and then the mitosis 4, morula stage day 3, and blastocyst day 5. In the blastocyst you have to remember trophoblast, fluid cavity and inner cell mass are the 3 things which will help you to understand the other thing. The cell in the blastocyst are arranged in an outer trophoblast and inner cell mass. Now this trophoblast gets attached to the uterine endometrium. You can see from here it is getting itself attached to the uterine endometrium, and the process is known as implantation. So this is the important part which you have to remember, that how this zygote outer layer which is known as trophoblast is attaching itself with the uterine endometrium, and the inner cell mass gets differentiated to form the embryo. So this is the inner mass, and this will form in the embryo, and this is actually the yolk sac. So this inner mass will differentiate into the embryo, and this till it gets nourishment from the mother, the yolk cell will be providing the nourishment. So healing of site of implantation after the entry of the zygote inside the uterine wall. You can see the uterine wall is closed, okay, and then you can see embryonic disc formation is taking place, amniotic cavity and maternal vessels. So this we are studying now. The trophoblast forms finger-like projections called the chorionic villi surrounded by the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. You can see from here, these are the, and the chorionic villi and the uterine tissue gets integrated to form the placenta. So this is very important. placenta is connected to the embryo by the umbilical cord. You can see from here, this is umbilical cord, and amniochorionic membrane or amniotic fluid is in the fluid which is for the safety of the embryo, and this is the outer layer. So this diagram is very much important. Now the different functions of placenta, how it is helping the supply of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide, transport nutrients to the embryo, excretion of waste products by the embryo, the different hormones production. You can see HCG hormone, human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, later stages of the pregnancy during the birth, you can say. Now this is how this actually exchange is taking place, and this will help you to understand how the embryo is getting nourishment from the mother. So this is the umbilical cord, blue in color shown, and then the exchange, after the exchange it is going inside the embryo. So you can see urea, water and CO2 which are transferred to the mother, and nutrients, antibody and oxygen are transferred from mother to the embryo. So this is a very important diagram which will help you to understand how the placenta is helping in the exchange of different things. So if immediately after the implantation the inner cell mass gets differentiated into ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So after the implantation of the embryo inside the uterus, the inner cell mass is differentiated into these three things. You can see ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, and the ability of the inner cell mass is due to the presence of multipotent cell called the stem cells. You must have heard this name, stem cells. Why these are called multipotent cells? Because these cells are having capability to be converted into any type of organ or helping in the development of that organ. That's why nowadays stem cells are preserved for the future use. Now this is a very important diagram. In this you can understand, actually it isn't asked, but this is very important. After the zygote blastocyst formation, three layers are formed, that is endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. Now this endoderm will give you the lungs, liver, pancreas and digestive tubes. Ectoderm, epidermis, epidermal placodes, neural tubes, so all these, your skin, mammary glands, brain, spinal cord, PNS are formed from the ectoderm. Liver, pancreas, digestive are formed from endoderm, and mesoderms are further divided into different types and giving you the different skeletal, connective tissue, oviduct, uterus, kidney, ovary tissues and like this. So this will help you to understand which part is formed from the which layer of the your zygote. Parturition and lactation. So human pregnancy has the duration of 9 months, and this duration is called the gestation period. Every organism has its own gestation periods. At the end of this period, vigorous uterine contraction leads to the delivery of the fetus, and the process is called parturition. So when the delivery of baby is going to come, that is known as parturition, and it is started by the signals from the developing fetus and the placenta which produce the fetal ejection reflexes. This term is very important. So this is the term when the baby is around to be delivered. This causes the release of oxytocin from the pituitary, which causes stronger uterine contraction. So the hormone name you have to remember which hormone is produced, and this lead to the expulsion of the baby along with the placenta. So the baby comes out along with the placenta. So this is the different process you can see after the complete baby formation. This is the birth process: symphysis, pubis, urinary bladder, urethra, vagina, cervix and rectum. And this is the stage 1, when this ruptured amniotic sac is ruptured and the fluid will come out. This will be the intimation that the baby is around to be delivered. And then the second stage, so the head region is coming out along. So this is how the baby's birth take place. Now the lactation period. During pregnancy, the mammary gland undergoes differentiation and milk is produced during the end of pregnancy. The milk produced during the first few days of lactation is known as clostrums. It is very rich in antibodies, and that's why it is said that for the young chaps and babies up to the age of 6 months, the mother's milk is the best. It contains several antibodies that aid in the newborn to develop the immunity. So this completes our chapter. Hope you like this explanation. Thanks for watching. Do share with your friends. Thank you.